when the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fought Shredder, an underrated fight taking place in the Exodus episodes in season 3 of the 2003 series. But first, let's start off with the backstory. It starts off with Shredder, who is now Utrom Shredder, and with this, not only can he conquer Earth, but he can take over Utrom. It starts off with the Turtles infiltrating Shredder's mansion, which is actually his spaceship, and they get to locking down the whole place, eventually reaching Shredder's location. And I understand why this guy wears a mask all of the time, because look at this McDonald's Vegeta ass hairline. Splinter shoots an arrow, but this guy catches that and snaps it in half. And whilst this guy was about to deliver his speech, Raphael and Michelangelo come pulling up to give him that dynamic entry, having him hunched over with his head on the middle of his chest like he's Spider-Verse Kingpin. Leonardo comes charging in, and this guy tanks his sword with just his forearms. What kind of vibranium arms are these? But he gets kicked away, and even got him hitting that Japanese apology ass pose. Michelangelo swings his nunchucks at him, but he's getting swung away. And now it's Raphael's time to pull up as he comes charging in, leaving it open for Splinter's arrows to pin him to the wall, even striking his chest. Splinter probably only got 3 days left to live, but you know Onk still got it. But that don't matter as he removes the arrows off him easily. Then we see this guy getting ganged up by the whole squad. Shredder deflects his sword, hitting that J. Cole meme, and just as he was getting distracted, he gets hit with that sword attack. Shredder kicks Onks out of the way, kicks Leonardo in the back, pushes Raphael out the way, kicks Michelangelo in the stomach, sending these men flying into that wall. Splinter tries to strike Shredder, but he blocks his sword, hitting that reverse Michael Jackson smooth criminal tilt and hits Splinter's groin. And then Han and his foot shoulders start spawning in. This is the part where Shredder orders a spaceship emergency launch and tries sneaking through the back door like a Playboy Carti song. But who else is there for a pull-up? Donatello, who's there to stop him. After the Turtles fight his goons, they reach Shredder's location, but his goons have followed him too. However, Bishop orders his minions to kill everyone, and whilst this was going on, Splinter goes on a speech about how he can't let him go to space and take over Utrom, as he wants to get his get back for Shredder killing Master Yoshi. Tries to swing at him, but he blocks the attack with his bare hands yet again, leaving Raphael to strike his weapon on his back. For Michelangelo to smack this in the face, then Hung smacks Michelangelo and Splinter into next week and tells Shredder to get into the ship until this crocodile pulls up and automatically is on sight, then smacks the living daylights out of him. But Han says, "I'm coming, master!" Get off the dick, bro, what is you doing? And saves him. The dick riding is crazy, leaving him laid out on the chemical tube. He rips off the remaining clothing to reveal that Shredder is an Utrom in an exosuit. But Leatherhead charges into him as they both fall down into the silo. Shredder makes his way to the spaceship, pure tunnel vision, but Donatello is there to stop him as he sprays liquid nitrogen on him, making him tweak out, breaking his exosuit. And I'm here thinking they were all about to jump his ass and the world will be saved. Nope, Karai jumps in front of them and retrieves Shredder. And just as she made it on the ship, the door closes.
Hey y'all, come look at this!
And as the spaceship lifts off, Bishop orders missiles onto the cakewalk, destroying it, separating Donatello from the rest of the squad, with Donatello hanging on for dear life. And as the ship started to take off, the squad jumped on the ship and made it on, eventually getting to scrap with Shredder once again, who's posted up with a new fit. And he knows Splinter still needs to get his get back, so he charges in with a couple sword attacks that don't hit or are blocked. Shredder tries to swing at Michelangelo, but he ducks for him to kick his back. Wondering where that came from, Donatello smacks him and blocks his attack, for Leo to slide in and attack, and Michelangelo to use his nunchucks to drag his left foot down, hitting this "will you marry me" ass pose, but he loses his grip. Splinter tries, but he's guarded. Raphael and Michelangelo continue trying to break this guy down, but Karai blocks the attack all on her own to protect Shredder. This allows Shredder to grab both of them and smack them into the other turtles, with Raphael holding onto the ledge with his own weapons, and Michelangelo saving Donatello with his nunchuck. Splinter tries stabbing his head, jumping off with the mask. And how have you built this suit? For it to still have a receding hairline? Can the exosuits go to Turkey? You should have locked that helmet in. That is hideous. Shredder tries stabbing him, but Splinter uses his own helmet to block the attack. And here, the ship was getting hit with hella missiles from Bishop himself. And because of plot armor, the ship hasn't fully been destroyed yet. And as the ship was getting destroyed, Michelangelo sees an exposed wire. He tries to use that wire to electrocute him, but he gets that snatched off of him. And just as he was about to get hit with that wire, Splinter pushed him out the way to take that blow, electrocuting him. Not gonna lie, instead of staring at this guy, you could have had the time to move. After falling to the floor, Leonardo tries to help, but he's stopped by Karai, and these two go band for band for Karai to drop that.
It did not have to be this way.
The explosions rock the ship again. How many more missiles does this ship need to explode? Damn, this explosion nearly caused her to fall to her death, but Leonardo saved her. Now this seemed like a wholesome moment. Maybe she might join their side now, but nope. This was a foolish move, as this leaves him open for her to take his sword and kick him. Not gonna lie, if this was me, I would have not saved her. What the f***? I'm letting that fall to her death. Leonardo is my favorite Ninja Turtle, but she made you look like a clown. Could never be me. They continue clashing as the cameraman pans to Shredder to hit that. This is Sparta! Sending him flying and stabbing Leo, but the cameraman was not about to show the other angle because Nickelodeon. This pissed off Raphael to start fighting with her, hitting that lethal kick. Now that's what we want to see. That's someone that knows how to box. And now she's face down on the ground for another kick to hit her. He's better than me. I would have thrown her down that ship. I'm sick of her ass. But it was all fun and games till Shredder picked him up, knees him in the stomach, leaving him and Leonardo down. And the only turtles that can fight are Donatello and Michelangelo, as Michelangelo tries to drop kick this guy, but it's weaved for Shredder to kick the side of his knee. Damn! I could feel that pain through the screen and kicks him to the ground. Donatello tries to hit him with his stuff but throws it away. This time he tries to throw hands but stops his fist, elbows his shoulder, and before he hits the ground, Shredder got him hitting this zesty ass pose with the knees, then falls. Shredder puts that mask back on, and rightfully so, because... And just as Shredder was about to finish off Leonardo, Karai stops him, telling him to spare his life as they've already won. But this guy smacks her away. Someone call social services. This is domestic abuse. And just as he's about to kill her, another missile hits the ship. And of course the ship is still standing because of plot armor. The Turtles and Splinter wake up and realize they're cooked if they go up against Shredder again. So what do? They try sacrificing themselves by overloading the ship's power core and blow it up. And just as this plan was being executed, Shredder runs back inside. Realizing it's too late to stop the power core from overloading, the ship explodes. Time freezes, and during that time, the Utrom have the Turtles and Splinter get teleported to the infirmary, with Shredder and Karai getting sent to the holding cells. Then the ship finally explodes, and eventually this leaves Shredder in the middle of nowhere after getting found guilty for all of the shit he's done. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment.